Hello. In this video, we're going to be looking at memory, and I'm going to show you how to remember 100 words in order. If we're meeting for the first time, my name's Alistair. I'm an English teacher and a maths teacher from Belfast in Northern Ireland, and my passion is teaching. On my YouTube channel, we have lots of things about English, languages, and accents. And in the last few weeks, I've started doing a live stream just to try and interact with my community. So that's what we're doing this evening. And one of the things we're going to think about is memory, because that's a really important topic, and going to try and show you some methods, but in particular one method that will help you hopefully remember 100 words in order, or potentially more than that. Hello, Alexander. At the minute, it looks like it's just you and me. So I'm hoping that obviously a few more people show up. Memory is something that people use in all of their lives, and I'm exactly the same. I think as people get older, they find that they forget things. What about you, Alex? What sort of things do you need to remember in life? Other than to show up to a live stream and moderate, that's helpful. That's fine. I promoted it. That's a good question, Alex. I put it on Facebook, my personal page, and my Also Action English page, and put a little bit on Instagram as well as texting a few people. I don't know. People might show up. That's not a problem. The way I see it is anybody who's watching this is helping my watch time. So we'll see. Chemistry. What sort of things do you have to learn on chemistry? Do you have to remember? It's crazy. Like, the setup's actually better. I fixed the camera, improved the lighting, got incredible weather in Northern Ireland, but nobody's here. Sometimes that happens in life. Yeah. Other skill stuff is also necessary, things I actually need. Just to ask you, Alex, while it's just the two of us, is the connection better than last time? I mean, what I can see looks better, but how is it from your point of view? Yeah, names of elements and compounds. That's pretty important stuff. We have another person. Hello, who are you and where are you from? We're up to 3 people. Nice. Names of elements and compounds, like there's 120 or something. That's absolutely crazy. But a brilliant example of what of something that people actually need to remember. We've got a few people showing up now. The stream is more smooth. Thank you. If you've just showed up, please type in the comments where you're from. There's only a few of us. This is an interactive live stream. I recommend that you have a pen or pencil, and also some willingness to try and remember some things. I've got an example where I'm actually going to see if you guys can remember a certain number of things. I'm down to 3 people, so obviously those 2 people who showed up weren't so happy with that, but that's cool. So yeah, Alex, what techniques do you use to help your memory? Organic chemistry, millions and billions. Still, there's other people here. Who are you and where are you from? Millions and billions. What do you mean, Alex? Millions and billions? I don't follow. Hello, someone else is here. Who are you and where are you from? Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully, if we can get 10 people, I will make a start. I want to actually give an example of a technique that everybody can try to improve their memory. Guys, hello. We need Alex is saying hello. We need some more interaction in the comments. Where are people from? Benzol, methane, and everything. Hello, drink. How are you? Where are you from? Wagwan. Are you trying to say hello in a cool way? I like it. Has everybody had a good week so far? What have people been up to this week, and particularly this Friday? From the UK, mate. Nice to see you. Drink. What things do you need to remember? This is going to be a session about memory. What things do you need to remember in your life? So the minute we've just got chemistry, and I'm going to give completely random examples of things that people need to remember. Let's keep it as practical as possible. What things do you need to remember in life? Is it work? Is it studies? I'm literally, wow, Cruiser, hello, thank you for your effort. Literally driving from New York. You're from New York City. You'll chat more once you're not driving. Well, please, welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. Yeah. I'm going to read, I asked someone, we're up to 6 people, nice. I asked someone to tell me how they remember things, and I'm going to share what they say. I have it on my phone, so bear with me. Give your opinion on this. One of my students called Agnesa, and this is what she says about memory. Well, since I have a written type of memory, the first thing that I like to do is have the text needed to be memorized in front of me in printed or preferably handwritten format. So she's saying she prefers it if it's handwritten, because in the process of having to handwrite something, I think she's suggesting that you're more likely to remember it. I don't know, is that a technique that works for you? Do you find it easier if you're handwriting things rather than typing, which is easier for you? Agnes then goes on to say, then I rewrite it a couple of times, usually 2, but it depends on the text's length. After that, I try to rewrite it again, only based on what I've memorized. After skimming, that means reading very quickly, through the original text and correcting any mistakes or filling in the blanks, I repeat this step over and over again until the whole thing is memorized. That way, I not only memorize the whole thing, but also while writing from your memory, my mind tends to fill in some spots with better expressions than before. So this is Agnes, who says she finds writing, how her brain works and how she remembers things. If you're watching where people are coming and going, how do you remember things? It took 4N. Love your video, thank you. Sorry, I won't be able to stay, but just wanted to say, hey, thank you. I will keep up the good work. How's my day been? My day's been pretty good. Thank you for asking. I had a couple of calls this morning. Had a regular student from Saudi Arabia. He booked a 1-hour lesson. That was nice. We ended talking about life and the planet and geography. He has an English exam tomorrow, so he was very, very keen to have a chat. Then I spoke to a new student today from Turkey. She just got back from the dentist, actually. A really advanced student, and she just wanted to have a chat. She actually told me that it was her nephew or her niece, I can't remember, said that they had found me, and that they said that she should have a lesson with me, so that was cool. Then the rest of the day I was getting ready for the live stream, trying to get some notes, trying to think about how I remember things, and I enjoyed the sun. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are, but in Northern Ireland it's like 21 degrees, 22 degrees at the minute. I'm looking out the 2 windows in this room, so I enjoyed a little bit of sun. What's everybody else been up to? You've always liked your geography, lol. Yes, I don't see why that's particularly funny, but yes, I have enjoyed my geography. What other things, just before we get on to an example here, what other things do the people watching, what do you need to remember in life? Is it school? Is it work? What things do you need to remember? Okay. I usually just learn stuff by stuffing a lot of information related to the specific topic. Do you mean, Alex, do you mean like grouping things into sections that are related? Or what exactly do you mean? Biochemistry? Do you drink or drinks? Drink or drinks? How is the C? Do you work as a biochemist? Drink. Apologies for the mispronunciation. So interesting name. You're studying for biochemistry, okay, nice. What year are you in university? Finished first year, nice. It's like you knew I was going to ask this question. Fantastic. It's not working. But I'm gonna, before we get to the main example, I'm going to tell you one way to remember things. It's called the Loci Memory. Hi there, the Agendian. Hi there, Emily. Nice to have you. How are you guys doing today? We're up to 7. Did that come through? Something called Loci Memory. Does anybody know what this is? Loci Memory. That's what we're going to think about for a few minutes. Fabulous. It's Friday. Yep. It's Friday. I mean, I'm planning, Emily, I'm planning to go live usually on Thursday, but both of the last 2 Thursdays I was busy. I had a meeting last night, and the Thursday before that I was playing squash, so it has to be Friday. Nice example, Alex. Almost midnight here. You can stay for a little bit. It's nice to have you here. Edge Indian. If you're struggling to remember different models of cars, you look up the meaning behind the names, then it's easy to remember. So I suppose that's good. That's a classic example that if you understand something or why something happens, then it's much easier to remember. I mean, I was a maths teacher before an English teacher, and I had no problem remembering formulas or how to do things in maths, usually because I understood what was happening. And if you understand something, you can kind of derive it or figure it out yourself rather than just having to remember bunches of things. What's the definition? So loci memory. Loci is about places. And this is something that's very common that people use to remember hundreds of things or a shopping list and stuff like this. And how it works is it involves taking a place that you know really well. So for example, maybe think of your flat, your apartment, your house. And in this place that you know really well, you visualize different rooms, different cupboards, different spaces, and in each of these spaces, you place an item. So if you wanted to remember a list of 50 things, you imagine walking in the front door, and maybe the first thing you see on the ground is, I don't know, an apple. And you sort of visualize as if you're walking into a place that you know really well, and you walk around the place, and then you remember where you place certain items. Maybe through the first door, I don't know, you have a pair of sunglasses or whatever. It's a bit of I suppose it's a good technique for remembering kind of random things, but the skills behind it can apply to, I don't know, work, studies, car brands, molecular elements, biochemistry, I don't know. You could like place different compounds in different parts of your house, but it's called the loci memory technique, and it involves visualizing something you know really well, because you have the same routine when you get back from work or you get back from school. You walk in your front door and you normally go to the same places. However, for this memory technique, as you go to these places, you see all these things that you have to remember. Obviously, you wanted to do it for more useful things than the apples and the apple and sunglasses that I suggested, but this is quite good. I've heard most of the memories in Amkadala. Could you explain, Edge Indian, you explain what this part of the brain means, please? Not everybody may be familiar with this part of the brain. Poker. That's why you love physics. Don't know an equation, come up with one. Fantastic. Thanks, Emily. There's this studying method that I used to use for long sorts of equations, like in science, for example. it is on my hand by visualizing part of the equation on different parts of my hand, like different letters for different parts of the equations, like A, B, X, Y, stuff like that. That's cool. That's a smaller version of loci memory. That's fantastic because like you're not going to forget your hand. Yeah, you see it far too much. I don't know if you guys like your hands, but you see them all the time. That's a brilliant example of loci memory. Fantastic. See that the Edge Indian, I see that today is the most number of people going live and chatting on YouTube. Do you mean in general or just on this live stream? Yeah. So this is called the loci memory technique. It's not the one that I currently use or when I was studying that I used, but I'm aware that some people who count cards or have to remember thousands and thousands of bits of information, they would often use this technique, and it works if you have a familiar place. So you go. That's one technique that's fantastic. Some further explanation, Emily. Thank you. So like I'd go through the equation on my hand, starting at your thumb, then go through the index finger and swooping motions. That's how I'd remember. That's kind of cool. I mean, you should be doing the live stream, not me. You've explained it really well. That's a nice, like, physical way of visualizing something, and I hope it worked for you. Nice. Let's think about another technique. If you're watching, just give me a yes or no if you have pen and paper or your phone handy. You will need either pen and paper or your phone. Just give me a yes or no, please. So we're going to do a little test. Okay, Edge Indian, thank you for the science lesson. So the frontal cortex carries most of the memory. Okay, one person has a pen and paper, excellent. Other people, do you have a pen and paper, or do you have a phone? Nice. So you saying loci is not for you, Alex? I appreciate that. It's not for me. What did you try that was similar, and why? Why do you think it didn't really work? You remember Poker Club, right? Yes, I remember Poker Club in school, absolutely. Yeah, it does sound great. Right, let's have a go. So this method is called, this is what I'm calling it, storytelling. So I want you to imagine you're talking to your family or your friends, and you're telling them about something that happened yesterday. I don't know if you're like me. People tell stories, and in the stories, there's lots of things happening in their head. And you don't have, if something like important happened yesterday or 2 days ago, you don't have to like make notes to remember it. You just tell the story, often because you have feelings and emotions attached to it. So this memory technique, the memory technique of storytelling, kind of builds on, again, visualizing things, but also attaching memories or emotions and feelings as far as possible to it. And that's the technique I want to show people. So the few of you who are watching, that maybe can get you up to memorizing 100 things in order. The record I had when I was a little bit younger and had less complicated things in my mind was 500. I remembered 500 things in a row. And today we're going to try 20. This evening, I'm going to try and get you guys to remember 20 things in a row. No cheating, so no typing these words in your phone or on the pen and paper yet. That's just a check. Mr. Lucas. Zach, I remember you very well. Biochemistry, I'm not surprised. It's good to see you and good to have a familiar face. For those of you who don't know, this is someone I taught maths to a number of years ago, and we had a little a club at lunchtime with some fantastic lads. We played cards, we listened to music, we had a really good time. it was only supposed to be one day a week, but it often worked out at being like 3 or 4 days a week. Lunchtime, it was fantastic. Some super guys, and then some of us on the Friday, was it? Zach, you'll remind me. Some of us on the Friday went to play volleyball. So it's kind of like a card club, poker club, maths club, volleyball club. It was a really cool place. So that's some nice happy memories. Thank you for reminding me, Zach. 12 to 14 people are going live. Thanks for sharing, Edgy. You had to have 100,000 subscribers. It's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. You can go live as often as you want. You don't need to have many people. Right. So let's try this memory technique. So I'm going to start off with. I've got 20 things. I've got a little list. I'm not doing it. I've done it before. And I'm going to say these really slow. I'm going to give you the first 5. And what it's about, folks watching, is that you want to create a really strong kind of visualization in your mind. And if possible, try and attach like emotions or feelings to what you're remembering. Also try and make it a bit crazy, a bit bizarre, like memorable. So here's the first 5, and I want them in order. So in your mind, create a little story, and afterwards you can tell us what your story is. I'll say each item twice to give you time to visualize it and create a story, and then I'll move on to the next one. Let me give you 10 seconds. Okay, item number 1 is a forest. A forest. Hi, Catherine. How are you? You've Catherine, Kate. You've just joined us, Kate. For the first item, we're going to try and we're going to try and remember 20 items, and the first one is forest. Okay, second item, and you might be able to add this to your story quite easily. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Okay, third item is a bar of soap. A bar of soap. I'm just trying to imagine some of the crazy stories that might be happening here. Okay, item number 4 is a wallet. A wallet. So remember, it's all about having a strong visualization in your mind that allows you to sequence the first item to the second, to connect it, the second to the third to the fourth to the fifth, and so on. Item number 5 is a beach. A beach. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Jack. You're starting to forget everything by now. That's really very common, Jack, actually. You're not Zach, you're Tristan. Hello, Tristan. I'm not surprised. See, this is, Jack, I understand what you're saying. You're starting to forget things. This is why it's important to attach emotions to it. Because if you're telling like your best mate a story, you don't forget the story, right? Because there are emotions, there are feelings, and you have a really strong image in your head. That's what you want to do with these 5 things. I understand, Emily, it's a very common thing. That's sort of how it happens. Okay, there was 5 things. Does somebody want to, in the comments, share their story of how they remembered these 5 things? The funnier it is, the easier it is. Please type away. How are you today, Catherine, by the way? Catherine, hey. Come on, I want to see some funny stories before I move on to the next items. Because, I mean, guys, if you can't do the first 5, you're never going to get to 20. I said this was practical, this was interactive, so I want to know how people are getting on. Who's going to go first? Sarah, Jack, Drink, Emily, Alex, Kate, the Edgy Indian, whoever else is there. Okay, Emily, thank you. I was walking through the forest where I bumped into our lad Trump and said he needed a wash. So we bought some soap using his wallet. Right? There's no way that you're going to forget that story. It links together. It's a little bit funny, and because you created the story, Emily, you're probably going to have it in your mind. Nice. Alex, Tom Hank runs out of the forest and sees Donald Trump. Okay, so you're adding an extra person. He smacks him with a bar of soap he had on him, stole his wallet, and went to the beach to escape on a bubble gum ship. Nice. Again, you've probably got it inside your mind, Alex. Tristan, you ended up having a fiery hate for maths in the end. Why? What happened? Again, for those of you who don't know, I taught Tristan maths for 2 years maybe, and a little superstar. What happened? Why don't you like maths anymore? That's terrible. I'm gonna get to number 6, and I'm probably gonna go right through to 20. A levels, okay. A levels can be bad. Sometimes they make you do bad things in maths that just aren't important and aren't fun anymore. I appreciate that. I'm going to go through from items 6 to items 20. Hi Agnes, how are you? Found it boring. Maths isn't boring, but it's something. It can be the teacher, it can be the school. I appreciate that. Agnes, for those of you who were here earlier, I read Agnes, I read your kind of your technique for helping memory. Anyway, item number 6, and I'm going to give you 10 seconds here. I'm going to go through these all the way to 20. And remember, it's about continuing your story, sequencing things together, and trying to attach emotions and feelings and like things you can visualize in your head. Okay, number 6, banana. Banana. Number 7, plug socket. Plug socket. If you're not sure what that is, this is the place in the wall where you put the plug. Again, I'm looking forward to hearing some of the amusing stories. Amusing stories make it easy to remember. At number 8, this is a nice one. A panda. A panda. Number 9, and this should fit easily into the story, an alarm clock. An alarm clock. Number 10, the Queen. That's the Queen of England. The Queen. Yeah, no problem, Tristan and Emily. Just keep commenting away. Do you find maths interesting? Because there's always a definite answer. Emily, that's a brilliant question. I find maths interesting because it's a language, and I'm now an English teacher, and also it's a way of thinking. Maths should be about problem solving and actually helping your mind develop. To me, maths isn't trigonometry, Pythagoras, calculus. Maths is a language, it's a mindset, it's a way of thinking. I guess that's why I find it interesting. Yeah, that'll be good, Tristan. I've been in Latvia for the last 3 years. Been more than happy to reunite with some people from a past life. This is kind of cool. I've got some of my current students and one of my past students. That's nice. Don't worry about that. Okay, item 11. Hope your stories are fun. A pink elephant. A pink elephant. Number 12, the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean. Number 13, a shotgun. A shotgun can be any type. Number 14, a pencil. A pencil. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever drink. It's all good. Number 15, a shirt. A shirt. Could even be this one if that helps you visualize. Excuse me. Number 16, a dollar bill. A dollar bill. For those of you who are not sure, that's a note. It's worth 100 cents in America. They call it a dollar bill rather than a dollar note, but we would usually use in Europe or British English. I am super, given the stories I heard with the first 5 items, I'm really excited about the stories for all 20 items. Number 17, Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Yep, thanks for stopping by, drink. Behave yourself. Make it a good one, but not too good. And thank you for the best wishes. Your favorite, Emily, let's hold it. Let's hold it until the end. Chat about that. At number 18, the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty. By the way, the few of you are here, I hope this helps. Like I remember actually when I was teaching maths, I did this with some students. And 3 or 4 students said, yeah, I studied maths with you for 2 years, but the memory techniques you did were actually the most useful thing you taught me, even though it wasn't directly related to, equations or whatever they were doing in maths. They said it was one of the most useful things. I hope it's useful for you guys. At number 19, a spoon. A spoon. And number 20, quite appropriate for Wimbledon coming up, a tennis racket. A tennis racket. Alex, for the first 5 items, your story was incredible. Did it just become too much? The key is to link the first to the second, to the third, to the fourth, and so on. But that can be, I guess that can be quite hard to do. Emily, you lost it at Pink Elephant. Let me have a little look at the list. That's okay, Emily. Tell us your story up to Pink Elephant, and we'll see what we can do there. No, I respect that, Alex. These things are difficult, and it can sometimes take a lot of practice. You did mention you're a sprinter, yeah, you did. But the memory is all about endurance, and But sprinting's more like a physical mindset rather than a mental mindset. You did the house thing, Emily. Oh my goodness! Wow. Like without obviously telling us where you live. Like take us through where you put the items. Where was the first one? Like where's the first place you came to? That's incredible. I thought people would do storytelling. Who wants to go first and share either their attempt at a storytelling method or the Loci method, the house or apartment method or whatever? I want to hear some funny stories. Maybe I should have done it. Like I had them written down, so it doesn't count. Okay, Alex, you're going to start us off, basically. ... See what happens. Just going to scroll up the comments because we had some really good stuff. Where is it? I was walking through the forest where I bumped into our lad Trump, and he said he needed a wash, so he bought some soap using his wallet. I mean, that's such a strong story. You've got the first 5 items, you're not going to forget them, and you just have to link everything together. I think that the person who taught me how to do this said that once you can do 10 things, you can do 20. Once you can do 20, you can do 50, you can do 100. In my case, I got to 500. You just link everything together. And then the other one, this nice one from you, Alex, is a great story. Tom Hanks runs out of the forest, sees Donald Trump. He smacks him with a bar of soap, had on him, stole his wallet, went to the beach to escape on a bubba gum ship. You don't need the bubba gum ship. What came after the wallet? Or the beach? Banana. I mean, bananas growing on the beach. Took a banana on him, and he was, I don't know, he was using a banana rather than a, what do you call it? I forgot what it's called. To move the boat. He was using a banana instead. You know, and he had to plug it in, you know, plug socket. Even though boats don't need plug sockets, there was an imaginary plug. But there's all sorts of stuff you can do to remember things. Here we go. Basically, the ship was full of bananas and dumb monkeys who like putting their fingers in the plug sockets, and pandas, because why not? Absolutely, why not? Then the alarm rang, and Liz II woke up from her dream. So Alex, was she dreaming about everything? Because that would be a really good connection. All of this stuff happened, but it was in the Queen's dream. That's your connection, and then you can go to the next bit. That could work. Walked through the house and saw a photo of a forest, a photo on the wall. Walked into the living room, and Trump was on the TV washing himself with soap. It's not the craziest thing we've ever seen that man do. Walked to the kitchen and a wallet in the side. Okay, back to you, Alex. She was then notified that the pink elephant living in the coast of the Atlantic Ocean was going extinct due to hunters shooting them down with shotguns. So, Alex, you're up to you're up to 13. Okay, Emily, a banana in the dining room where I saw a plug socket. I can remember some words, but not the story. That's interesting. Then, so another thing with this method is that, I don't know what it is. Let's have a look at the list. You often in a list of 20, you maybe get one or two things where you get stuck. So you need to do something, I don't know, like a bit more dramatic, like to have some action in your story rather than just an inanimate object. You know, so a banana is an inanimate object. So perhaps it could be difficult to remember and to put it in the sequence. So you might have to have like something extreme, something crazy happening with a banana. Use your imagination. And that might actually help you remember it. Again, the person who, I can't remember who it was, it might have been a book. The person who informed me about this method said that every now and then you get something you just can't remember it. You know, you've got 49 out of 50 things, but there's one in the middle you don't remember and it destroys the story. Once you get it, you can then complete. So it's about having a bit more of a extreme memory. Is this the new Black Mirror episode? What's Black Mirror? I don't know what that is. So you've got the items, but not the... Nice, Emily. You've got the items, but not the story. Panda. Nice. I don't know what Black Mirror is. It's some series. I'm ignorant of these things. Nice. Okay, folks. I have one other thing I want to do about memory. I'm going to put this in the comments. I don't watch TV. I watch sport on TV. I like the news and stuff. Folks, I've put something in the comments. What is it, please? Watch Black Mirror. Why should I watch Black Mirror, Jack? And Jack, are you going to tell us your story? How did you get on with remembering the 20 things? Or did you join a little bit late? Pi. Pi, just PI. We don't need the E. Do you know the correlation between David Cameron and pigs? No, but you're going to tell us. Is the live stream going to become a series of puns? Could be worse. Come on, Alex. What's the correlation between David Cameron and pigs? Is that Black Mirror? What? He left school ages ago. Anyway, so this is pi. You've probably heard that, you know, there's all sorts of, like, I don't know, crazy people who can remember pi to, I don't know, whatever, 100,000 digits. I don't know what the world record is. Here is pi to 20 digits, I think. I'm going to type it out again. So I'm going to ask you first before I give you a technique. If you had to remember pi to 20, we'll stick with 20, just like we did with the words. If you had to remember pi to 20 decimal places, how would you do it? Let me know. Yeah, let's try and keep it clean. Lost yourself after soap. So how would you remember pi? I've given you a little challenge to remember pi to 20 digits. How would you do it before I suggest a method? Nice banter, Sarah and Jack. And I'm nearly out of water again. It's crazy. Come on, folks, here's your question. How are you going to remember pi to 20 decimal places? Sig figs, significant figures, yeah. But just for the sake of it, you have to remember to 20. Catch a rhythm. Okay. Try and come up with a rhyme or something. Perhaps Emily songs have been done. If you go to, I don't know, YouTube, Google, whatever, you can find some songs that I think help you get it to 50 or 100. If that's how your mind works, that's great. Wasn't there a mathematical trick to remember? There can be. There's only a few of us here. I want us to try this method I'm going to share with you together. And basically how it works is, we'll hope that everybody remembers the number 3. So the first one is 1. So we're going to create like a story with sentences and stuff. Has to make grammatical sense, more or less. And the first word, hay fever. Okay, yeah. Emily, go and sort yourself out. Take your tablets. No, you don't need to be here if you're in hay fever. We might catch it through the stream. So yeah, the first one is 1, which means to start the story, you have to have a word that begins with 1. With one letter. So I will start. There's not a lot of choices. I. And then the second one has 4 letters. So it has to be a word with 4 letters. Okay. So here we go. Here, let's create our story. I like. Okay. Who's got the next one? I like. And keep it clean, please. So something with one letter. Please. This is interactive. I don't want it to be me. Okay. I need to keep putting the number in. So I like a. Next, we need something with 5 letters. Someone else, please. It'd be great if by the end of this we can have the 5 of us who are here can all remember pi to 20 digits. I don't know the 20 digits. 5-letter word. Let's have one, please. It doesn't need to make so much grammatical sense. I'm going to leave people doing this. I'm out of water. It's an absolute sauna in this room, and I will be back in like a minute. And I want this to be like completely finished. So sort it out amongst yourselves. I want a story that will help me and you guys remember pi to 20 decimal places. I'll see you in 1 minute. Hang on. All right, where have we got up to? Hang on. What have we got? What have we got? Yeah, we need to know. Let's check. Yogesh, hello. Trying to recite pi to 20 decimal places, and it's got a little bit crazy, I think. Where are we? Hang on. Whoa. I'm lost. What's happened? I like a camel. Okay. I like a camel. What's next? Guacamole. How do you spell guacamole? I don't know how to spell it. Right. Okay, let's go with that. I'm with you, Alex. I like a camel guacamole on. How do you spell? Someone go into Google and find out how to spell. How do you spell guacamole, please? Someone got it. Okay. Yeah, no, don't be offending each other. Guacamole. Thank you, Catherine. So we've got I like a camel guacamole. So 3.14159 on. Yeah. What's next? 3.1415926, please, on rabbit. Nice. That's interesting combination, some crazy humor. I like a camel guacamole on rabbit. What's next? 5 letters, please. Not very vegan. Yeah. Hey Yogesh, I remember you commenting in some of my videos. I think I remember you tricking me on April Fool's Day. If I'm right, maybe it was a different person. India, Latvia, the UK, Northern Ireland, a few different countries. Okay. So I like a camel, guacamole on rabbit, India. What's next? What's next? 3. I can do this one. And I don't know if does that make grammatical sense. I like a camel guacamole on rabbit, India. And I don't know. Come on, we gotta get to 20. Gotta get to 20, and then we can like tell the world that we've remembered pi to 20 digits. That'll be incredible. Anyway, as you're trying to figure things out, this is another memory technique. It's not one I've used, but it's very common. I think I had a friend who remembered pi, memorized it to 500 decimal places. I can't remember what method they used. It could be this, but I think people find it like a little bit complicated when you get to 0. Like you do a full stop or a kind of end of sentence, question mark, exclamation mark. And then you start a new sentence. Like I think that could be one way to signify 0, because like no words have 0 letters, obviously. I don't know. And Trump, why would he do that? Now, why would he do that? Does that fit into the rest of the digits? I mean, I'm lost. Where are we? How much have we done? My head hurts. I suppose I'm gonna leave this to my head. My head can't cope with it. Just before I finish off, I want to ask you these questions because in theory, this is a yeah. Keep going. Sandwich. Does that fit in? Which one's that? 8. Okay, we're about halfway there. Sandwich and Trump sandwich. Trump sandwich. Interesting. I got a question for you because this is a language channel. This is an English channel. Even if you're not here for that reason. Whenever you've been learning English or any language that you've learned, how do you learn new words? What's your technique? How do you learn new words, their pronunciation, and their meaning? Please add some value in the comments. How do you learn new words, their pronunciation, and their meaning? Nice use of brackets, Alex. I like a camel guacamole on rabbit, India, as in from India, and Trump sandwich. Nice. I think 9 is next. So yeah, please, how do you remember words, how to pronounce them, and their definitions? Duolingo. Is this an app that you still use, Alex, or did you just use it when you weren't as confident in other languages? This is what it's like to use 100% of the brain. Is this hard work that you think, Jack, did you think you were just coming here for a bit of crack, a bit of banter, and here we are trying to do some crazy memory things? Do you feel under pressure? Good mean, Jack. Sarah and Jack, are you two in the same place, or you just know each other? So what have we got? We've got 3.1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 8. Hello, you came back. We're trying to memorize, Emily, you came back. We're trying to memorize pi to 20 decimal places, and we're not doing so well. How many have we got? Dutch, Spanish, Italian, and Dutch. They speak Dutch in the Netherlands. Yeah, that's the one, Alex. Some value. The Netherlands. Like, it really annoys me. No one here is from the Netherlands, but it really annoys me when people call the place Holland. Like, a lot of people in my country call it Holland. Holland, I think, is a province of the Netherlands. The Netherlands is the UN recognized country. Holland is just a province. Please don't get your geography wrong. Thanks, Jack. Consistently learning the same group of words from the same topics over time really helps to reinforce their meaning. Yeah, like you put them in groups, it definitely makes sense. Yeah, images and practice, of course. Like one of the things we're encouraged to do, particularly with like younger children, or by any children or lower levels, is if you're repeating a word for pronunciation, it's good to say the word lots of times, maybe to say it loudly, to say it quietly, to say it at normal volume, to say it as if you're angry, to say it as if you're happy, sad, like so you can really, explore using your mouth. And that helps with pronunciation. From my point of view, with meaning, I like to make sure that my classes, they spoke a lot, and that hopefully by speaking a lot, they would use the words in context. They'd hear it from me, they'd hear it from each other. So if we looked at, 10 sets of words a lesson, then we try and use them in as many different ways as possible. Questions from the book, people's own questions, a little bits of writing, to try and get familiar with the actual usage of words. Applies in languages, I think. Latvians call the whole Russia Krevia, which apparently was a small village. On the grand scheme of things, it doesn't exist anymore. I did not know that. I knew that Latvians called Russia Krevia, but I didn't know that it was a small village. Is that like a real story, or is it just a myth or a legend? Like, I think everybody's given up on learning pi. I think it's something where you need to sit down, actually have the numbers in front of you. I'm typing over here. We can forget that. Any other techniques that people have for helping them remember words, or remembering lists, or remembering birthdays or names? Like, how do you remember people's birthdays and names, like before social media and stuff like that reminded you? How do you guys remember this? Needs to be visual, yeah, absolutely. Dutch is pretty much a less pretty version of English, in my opinion. No intention to hurt Max Verstappen fans. Max Verstappen is a F1 racer, for those of you who don't know. Needs to be visual, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's another thing, Emily, that would happen in the classroom, is you'd have something called flashcards, used all the time. The little children, you'd flash up a beach, it would say beach, and then it would have a picture of a beach. And then you'd have to get them to repeat it. And what do you do here? Do you want it to be hot? Yes. Is there the sea? Yes. Things like this. So they have the image as well as the word. Helps them use it. And then another thing that's like really important with words is, and I find this, you have to personalize them. You know, if you don't personalize them, what's the point of knowing it, right? You know, one of the words I used the most when I was living in Latvia for the past 3 years was legums. You know, contract, because I had work contracts, phone contracts, things like this. So it's a word I had to use all the time. And interestingly, you know, I heard a lot of Russian as well when I was in Latvia, but I didn't use the word. I have no idea what the word contract is in Russian, because any contract I was signing was in Latvian. And there's other things that I would have heard in Russian that I wouldn't hear in Latvian. It's kind of interesting that it's all relevant to how you use it. But absolutely, if you're learning anything, words in a language or a subject at school or university, you've got to personalize it, or what's the point? Yeah, no, thanks, Jack. Phrases in other languages, when broken down into individual words, help. Yeah, totally. It's like called chunking. You put words in chunks. Nice. For names, you get a feel for a name. Emily, thanks. She looks like an Emily. He doesn't look like a Graham. Oh yeah, I'll remember them as Paul because it's too sophisticated for him. That's interesting. Yeah, I was very fortunate. Always in the classroom, I made it one of my aims that by the end of the first lesson, I would remember everyone's name. In Latvia, I had a maximum of 12 in each classroom. It was easy enough. Lessons were 90 minutes. As in England, I think 36 was the largest I had. But still, I tried to remember every student's name by the end of the first lesson, even if it was only half an hour or an hour. The way in which I did it was association, as in something about like a specific feature. I don't know, they had a hair color or a facial feature, or what they were wearing, or their accent, or an answer they gave. So I try and speak to every student, even when there was 36 in that first lesson. You got to speak to every student so you can remember them. Or this is so-and-so's brother or sister, or they're this age, they have this pair of shoes. Like remembering things by like association can be a really good technique. "36 students to one teacher." Yeah, you better believe it. You know, it's 30 in NI. Now, to be fair, Emily, this was in my final or penultimate. No, this was my final year, maths in England, and as the head of department, I set the timetable. So I had a class of 36. They were set 2 actually out of 5. A different teacher had set 1, and set 1 was maybe only about 25 because they were sort of actually more difficult. Then set 3 and set 4 had about 30, which was normal, and then set 5, which I also taught, had like 8 students. So I set the timetable because I knew I could deal with this class. They were a really strong set 2, like really talented mathematicians, and they all helped each other. It was like having 36 or 37 teachers in the classroom. And because I was having the difficult class, the set 5, some really students from really difficult backgrounds, I wanted to make sure that if I only wanted 8 in this class, I would have to have more in other classes. So that's the reason behind that. Like, I don't think it's fair to say every class should have 30 students, because not all schools are equal, not all students are equal, not all budgets are equal, not all department sizes are equal. Maybe it's easier in Northern Ireland, but in England, within our school, you know, the principal and stuff like this, I had some flexibility, and that's cool. Yeah, I absolutely agree, Alex. The more you think, the more information beds in, even if you don't understand. Yeah, thinking is a good thing. You can take a break after your brain is tired, come back and feel like the next Isaac Newton. Well, he was a special person. You like a person and think about the person. Yeah, this is again is association. You attach memories to it. This one smells of cigarettes. Did you ever teach BTEC? I did not. What does BTEC stand for, Sarah? Sarah, that's not a, that doesn't appear to be a name from the UK. Maybe someone can help you. What is a BTEC? Folks, I have a book. I think I spoke about it before, Dictionary of Idioms. It's a fantastic book. The video is not sponsored. Someone give me a letter from the alphabet and I will read an idiom. Or if there's a specific idiom you want me to tell you about, then please do so. Just in case they're watching, it's Dictionary of Idioms by Linda and Roger Flabel. It's not my content, so please don't sue me. There's a little thing here, blah, blah, blah. All rights reserved, no reproduction, copy or transmission, and so on. So I'm just letting you know that this is not my book, this is their book. Pick a letter and I will read you an idiom, please. Or an idiom and I will tell you about the origin of it. It's really cool. Go for it. Give me a letter. Business and Technology Council. Yeah, like it's important to have qualifications that are practical. I don't know, vocational and qualifications that are academic. We need all of them. Letter F. Thank you, Jack. Okay, I'm going to give you two choices. Do you want either to take French leave or to fly off the handle? There's your choices, people. To take French leave or to fly off the handle. Whoever answers first, I will go for it. Ah, hey Jamelia, how are you? We're still going 1 hour and 2 minutes in. We've gone completely off track and we're just having random conversations right now. Alex, you can't catch the meaning of the second one. Let's try it. To fly off the handle. So it's a nice book. It tells you the meaning and it gives a little bit of history. It's called The Dictionary of Idioms and Their Origins. I like it. So to fly off the handle. This expression was current amongst American frontiersmen. Frontiersmen are the first people who explore a place. In the first half of the 19th century, the reference is to an axe head. An axe is the sort of thing they use to cut down trees. Having worked loose on its handle, finally flies off at the next hefty blow. Ah, okay, that makes sense. For an axe to break in this way was not only dangerous, but also meant that work had to stop until a new handle had been made. I mean, can you imagine if this hit you? That wouldn't go down so well. It was not surprising, therefore, that the event was invariably accompanied by an outburst of temper, so that angry behavior came to be associated with the loss of an axe head, and the person was said to have flown off the handle to lose their temper. And this is interesting. Canadian author Thomas Chandler Halliburton popularized the phrase in the attaché or Sam Slick in England, 1843, 1844. You never see such a crotchety old critter as he, old critter, old person. He flies right off the handle for nothing. A more recent usage, this is from the Daily Mail in 2004, British newspaper. She reckons I hardly do anything in the house and moans all the time about picky little things. I must admit I fly off the handle when she asks me to do boring chores, like go to the local shop. So to fly off the handle comes from an axe. When the end of the axe flies off the handle, it means losing your temper. Interesting. No worries, Jamelia. It's fantastic to have you show up. I'm doing really well, thank you. We started thinking about memory, and we tried to, we tried to remember 20 words in a row, and then we thought about remembering 20 digits of pi, and then we got sidetracked, and I have no idea what's happening now. Yeah, going wild, fly off the handle. H, yep, I'm going to give you two choices. Wild Cruiser, thank you for suggesting. Dog with two, that's the only name I can think of at the moment. I have no idea what it means, sounds rude. That one's not in the book. So basically Vettel, again, if you don't know, is a German German F1 racer. Interestingly, Alex, like with idioms, you can't, this is crazy. You can't change the structure, but yes, you're right. He was never on the handle. He always flies off the handle. You can't like say the opposite. But, you know, for the sake of this discussion, I guess you can. Vettel regularly flies off the handle. If this is new for you, I hope you like it. H. Thank you, Wow Cruiser. I will give again 2 choices. I'll try and do a common one and a less common one, and give me a choice. First one, at the 11th. No, do that one. Hook, line, and sinker, or to be left high and dry. I'll say those again. Where'd it go? Hook, line, and sinker, or to be left high and dry. High and dry, I will do that. I'm not good friends with memory. So why, Jamelia, why do you find memory difficult? Like I guess we kind of gave up, quite a lot of us, earlier on in the live stream, but we pointed out some things that are challenging. Why do you find it difficult? I'll have a look for eyes bigger than belly, but let's do high and dry. Alex, do you know this one, by the way? I mean, people from the UK native speakers will probably know this. To be left high and dry. So three meanings: to be stranded, to be left out of things, or to be left in a difficult situation. This is a nautical phrase, that means from the sea, recorded from the early 19th century to describe a vessel, like a boat or something else in the sea, that is left grounded when the tide goes out, or one that has been hauled into a dry dock. Figurative application dates from the second half of the 19th century, apparently. However, the EOC, I don't know what that is, this is from the Daily Telegraph newspaper, is very concerned that as more and more final salary pension schemes close to new entrants, a growing number of women will be left high and dry when their husbands die. One from a Birmingham newspaper. The disaster has left Mr. Singh, a skilled painter, high and dry without a job and owed up to 1,700 wages, pounds. He said, I have been left with nothing. So yeah, to be left high and dry, to be stranded, to be left out of things, to be left in a difficult situation. Yeah, like when you're in an exam and stuck. Yeah, you'd feel like you're left high and dry because in an exam, you're by yourself. There's nothing you can do. You've done all your revision or not, all your study, and your grade is kind of like up in the air. You're left high and dry. Familiar with it, but never use it. No idea what it means. I hope that explains. To be stranded, to be left out of things, to be left in a difficult situation. Yeah. Need a new memory card, apparently. Be right back. Thanks, Jack. Somebody asked for another one. Eyes bigger than belly. Emily, let me have a little look. That would probably be under eyes. It is not in here, but I'm sure people know what this means. Somebody comment for me. What does it mean if your eyes are bigger than your belly? Also, give me another letter and I'll pick one more. The letter E, okay. Thank you, Emily. 2 choices. A good egg or a bad egg, that's one choice. Another one about eggs. To teach someone's grandmother to suck eggs. So there's your choices. These are brilliant. These are absolutely fantastic idioms. A good egg or bad egg, or to teach someone's grandmother to suck eggs. Why is that coming up as this message is held for review? That's absolutely fine. Thanks, Alex. And again, thank you for moderating. There hasn't really needed to be anything done. So here we go. To suck eggs. Person about to bite off something they can't chew. We'll get back to that one. This is quite long, so bear with me. To teach one's grandmother to suck eggs. This means to offer unnecessary advice to someone who is older and more experienced. This is the origin. This phrase has been in use since at least the early 18th century to reprimand Someone explain what reprimand means, please. Someone who, although young in years and green in experience, thinks it necessary to lecture an older and wiser person. It has, of course, been pointed out that a toothless grandmother would naturally be more successful in sucking the meat from an egg than a grandchild with a complete set of teeth. Remember, you call the inner part of an egg meat, even though we wouldn't normally think it's meat. The phrase is the sole survivor of a number of earlier expressions which were coined along the same lines. In the mid-16th century, the young were exhorted, like encouraged, not to teach. I don't know what that means. And from the beginning of the 17th century, they were advised not to teach grandmothers to grope her ducks. What? What is that? That is to feel her ducks and see whether they will lay eggs or not. What? Crazy. Old language. Nice. Weird. To teach your grandmother to suck eggs is open to a certain amount of humorous embroidery. R.D. Blackmore, whoever he is, alluded to it in this. This is a poem, Christowell, from 1882. A twinkle which might have been interpreted, instruct your grandfather in the suction of gallinaceous products. I don't know what this means. Here's a more modern version that skips on this. A newspaper in 2000, Delia could teach your grandmother to suck eggs. 3 programs maximum. Another one, Sunday Mirror. At the risk of teaching all your grandmothers to suck eggs, it will be no news to you that in common with the rest of the world, racing is not short of chancers and conmen. Weird. Basically, to give unnecessary advice to somebody who's more clever than you and experienced. That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, group her dad. Don't know. Thank you about reprimand. Thy idioms maketh no sense. So forget all that explanation was nonsense. To teach someone's grandmother to suck eggs basically means to offer unnecessary advice to someone who is older, more experienced, and knows what's happening. Yeah. So, like, Alex, you like your motorsport. It'd be like a 3-year-old, I don't know, telling Michael Schumacher how to handle a hairpin. You don't need to teach it. It's like teaching grandmothers suck eggs. He knows what he's doing. If you put it in real life senses, it makes sense. You love the way I say tooth. Why? How do I say tooth? Yeah, see, Emily, you've given a much better example. My boss used to tell me that all the time, tell me if I'm telling you to suck eggs. Yeah, if you already know how to do something, it's normally this expression would be changed. You'd remove the word grandmother from it and just say you're teaching someone to suck eggs. Yeah. Be like you telling a pro tennis player how to play. Perfect, Emily, exactly. Why is the grandma sucking eggs? Who knows? I mean, the explanation here, I didn't get it. I would just, so for this one, like everything here needs to be about real English. It's what Emily says, perfect. If you tell a pro tennis player how to play tennis, you're telling them how to suck eggs. They already know how to do it. Perfect example. Let's move on. We don't know why they use it. Give me another letter, and this time pick a better choice. That was a strange idiom. Since when were you vegan, by the way, Alex? I didn't know this. Bite off something they can't chew. Do you want to go ahead and give me another letter? We'll see what we got. I think this live stream has become absolute nonsense, but that's fine. It's not in this book, Alex. Bite off more than they can chew. Sorry. Zed. I can have a look. I don't think there will be any, but let's see. I haven't got to the back. I'm sorry, Emily, there is none with Z. I'm sure there are some idioms with Zs, but I only go up to W in this book. Sorry, no X either. So disappointing. What a terrible live stream. This is the worst. Oh, I know. Sorry, I'm just looking at some that are really funny. It's all fun and games. It is all fun and games. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are too. I'm still surprised why some of you are actually here. Tell us your favorite. Okay, I don't have a favorite, but I'll do this one. I'm a fly on the wall. If you're not a native speaker, do you know what this means? A fly on the wall. I love it. No spoilers, please. So Alex, you became a vegan since mid-March, okay? I believe it's like a spy, yeah. Kind of like a spy, yeah. Here we go. A fly on the wall is an unperceived eavesdropper. So an eavesdropper is someone who is listening to a conversation and people don't know about it. This idiom is alluded to, means talked about, referred to, in Nancy Mitford's Love in a Cold Climate, 1949. And indeed, this may have been its source and origin. I had been throwing an occasional glance in their direction, wondering what it could all be about, and wishing I could be a fly on the wall to hear them. This one kind of makes sense, because if a fly on the wall, you don't really notice it, you don't know it's there, but it's aware of what's happening. By the 1970s, the phrase fly on the wall had been adopted by filmmakers to describe an approach in which a slice of real life is presented to the viewer without the interference of direction or commentary. However, participants still had to get used to being followed around by a camera crew, hardly as inconspicuous, brilliant word, as a fly on the wall. So yeah, not inconspicuous at all. Nice. Let's look at two modern examples. He had no real desire to be a fly on the wall at yesterday's meeting between Mr. Jack O'Connell and London's very own despotic tyrant, Mr. Ken Livingstone. No comment. And that was from the Daily Express. Another one also from the Daily Express, 2004. This new Fly on the Wall series follows a group of medical students through their critical third year at Southampton University as they graduate from lab-based dummies and dissections and get to grips with hospital patients. So it's kind of giving you an insight into other people's life. Are you a spy on the wall? I don't think that's a phrase. Emily, would you like to be a fly on the wall? Fish in the net? I think that's just literal, yeah. If you're a fish in the net, you're just trapped. Fantastic. Folks, I'm going to put the book down. Just as we sort of get towards the end of time, any questions anybody wants to ask, or any discussions people want to open up? I'm happy to stick around for a little bit longer, and I do appreciate you being here. I'm sure some of you have realized that this is I quite enjoy this. It's a nice way to connect with people, get more comfortable in front of the camera, and actually increase my watch time. Like you probably are aware, I'm sure you don't mind me sharing, that I think to be on the YouTube partner program, whatever it's called, you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. I'm approaching half of that. It's only 50% on the watch time, and my subs are 700 and something or other. So I'm over 70%. So I'm trying to get my watch time to sort of match up. A little bit cheeky, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's important to connect with people, get more comfortable in front of the camera. I have no problem being honest about that. I quite like to get on the platform. I've been on YouTube for nearly a year, and it's a good partner program to be on, actually. Who and how much should I bet on to win the Austrian GP? Emily, are you referring to Alex's question as brilliant, or the nonsense I said about the partner program? I don't know, not Vettel, I'm going to say that. And a small amount, I would recommend that you do like a, what's it called, an each way or something like that, or do pretty places or something like that. Yeah, the partner program's okay. It's not, it's not the end goal. And the real driving force for me is to keep doing free videos and things like this to connect with people who want to, and try and make videos that are relevant for people. Because I mean, YouTube, the thing I like about it is you can reach as many people as possible. However, yeah, I guess only my Northern Irish videos that are really getting any traffic. I mean, one of my videos has nearly 25,000 views, which for my channel's 700 subscribers, that's a lot of views. But most of the rest of them have like 100, 200, 300. So obviously I'm not reaching people, and that's what I would like to grow. It's not to be accepted in the YouTube partner program. It's about reaching as many people as possible with stuff about English, languages, or accents, whatever. I think that's what I'm passionate about. And then obviously some people have lessons with me, one-to-one or group lessons, things like this. Is whatever works for people. And that's very kind, thank you. I mean, I try to be consistent. It was one of the things I learned that. If you show up every week, and I'm trying to show up every Monday, I think 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or something like that in the UK. I enjoy it. Creating videos is good fun. Actually really helps my ability to teach English because you know what you're talking about. I'm going to keep doing that, and hopefully I can get to 1,000 subs, but I'm quite a bit behind in 4,000 watch hours. I mean, YouTube upped it like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. 4,000 watch hours that's a lot of time. That's more than 10 hours a day for a year. And that's kind of their benchmark. And that's quite impressive, actually. You can reach that, people. As an ex-maths teacher, what's the best way to learn fast and get started with calculus? I only taught up to GCSE, Alex. Get started with calculus. Like, so if I hooked you up with my friend who's doing like PhD in maths, also called Alex, super guy. He's like into machine learning and stuff like this. He would say that everything about maths, including calculus, is unless you're told and shown the application of something first, don't bother. He was like, during university, we studied together. He was like, why are you teaching me all this stuff? What's the point? And now that he's 30, whatever, he's actually using a lot of the stuff that he studied at university. And from his point of view, he's like, well, why didn't you tell me this? He's mostly doing statistics. But lots of maths comes together. And his point of view is, this is super useful. Tell me the use before the theory. Because that's how traditionally maths and science happened. We need to do this, so we need to discover something, invent something, create a formula, have an algorithm, whatever. Because there's something we cannot do, and we need to be able to do that. So that's what I would say to anybody who's learning maths or physics or any form of science, that get to the application first, what you're trying to achieve, and then have the theory as as your base, because you can't do things without the theory. But have a real life application. That's what I would say. I bet Alistair is still. That's a lot of phrases there, Alex. Nice. How are you going to reach a wider audience or more people in general? I don't know. I think that's a good question. Thank you for putting me under pressure. I think having a video every Monday is good. I want to make videos that are more relevant. I obviously try and make better videos to get higher watch time, more likes, more engagement, and engagement is really helpful. Like, all this stuff is good. And then YouTube is more likely to suggest my content. Another thing I'm going to try is maybe try and do some videos outside now that I'm here. I've got better lighting. And actually, like, in comparison to the last video, I think the quality here is higher. I don't know if you agree. So maybe some videos outside and maybe explore the Northern Irish accent. And I'm not sure that's necessarily useful for people learning English, as useful as I would like it to be. But my video which one is it? I don't know if you've seen it. How to do a Northern Irish accent has nearly 25,000 views. I don't think it's my best video or even close to it, but on average between 150 and 200 people every day find this video and watch it. And for a small channel like mine, that's a lot of traffic. And that's because I'm ranking on search, and people watch other videos of Northern Ireland, and this one shows up, and then they watch my video. And like, there's a 15, 16, 17%, what's it called, a click-through rate, when they see the little picture, the little thumbnail, which means people like the thumbnail. So from my point of view, it's about being discovered on YouTube. It's a really good question. Emily, thank you. I hope to make videos that people want to find, that can appear in search and suggested. That'd be a good way to grow, I think. That'll get it going. It will. Fight Logan Paul. Have to find him. I've heard him, like, he'd appear sometimes when I'm browsing on YouTube, but I don't know. That'd be too easy for him, or he'd be too easy for me. Yeah, it's working a little bit. Like, there've been times, Emily, to be honest, where I've got a bit disheartened. And actually, to be honest with you, going live, I don't, it says there's 6 people here. I don't know, 3 or 4 of them are probably my family, and I'm talking to some of you right now. That kind of actually relaxes me, because it's giving me watch time. It's getting me in front of the camera. It's helping me relax. I enjoy it. That's okay. And if anybody who was learning English is watching this, listening to me rabbit on absolute nonsense and reading all these comments will help your English, and I'm happy with that. So I don't know. I've reached some piece. The reason, thanks, Alex. The reason why I want to learn calculus is because I see how amazing it is. Why? Why is calculus amazing? You got to give us that's just words. Give us a practical demonstration of why calculus is amazing. Yeah, again, about the quality of the live stream. Is it better than last week? Is the quality of this live stream better than last week? Not the performance, the setup. Is it better? Second, I love your lives. Oh, you're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I'm an individual person. I never want to be a sellout. But like all the advice on YouTube is that you got to be realistic. If you're doing this as I am, you've got to have some financial backing. I suppose what I would really like is lessons. You probably noticed that. I'd like people to learn English with me, learn maths with me. I'd love, in 5 years, I'd love to have my own school. That would be incredible. I'm passionate about this. So anything that you guys do to sort of support that. I don't know if you know anyone who's looking for private English lessons or private maths lessons, exams, whatever. I'm sure you'd let them know that I'm here, and that's really what I'm not. Yes, I'm a YouTuber, I guess, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is actually that you sort of have lessons, go make some income, of course. And watching YouTube videos helps, right? But I don't think it helps as much as having lessons, and that's kind of what I want to do. Here we go, Alex. We're having like all these side conversations. I like it. And thanks, Sarah. That's really, really encouraging. Finding equations that would be really difficult to derive without using calculus. You need less imagination to get the same results here. White background, pattern top. It's all about visuals, good contrast. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you, Wow Cruiser. I appreciate that. Like if I was any closer, you could actually see my face, and that's probably not so nice. Yeah, I haven't. No, that's really good. Wow, thank you for sharing. I haven't got an encoder. I'm trying to explore how to use like OBS, Streamlabs, things like this. If anybody knows, send me a message. Help me out. I'm actually using a 4K cross tour travel camera. It's not sponsored. I'm not putting it in the description. It's a travel camera, so it's like one of those ones that people attach to their snowboard or something like this, or their bike or whatever. Really good value, but it doesn't. The mic attached to it is low quality, so I'm using a separate mic. Maybe it's not come through actually. Maybe the mic's not come through, and I'm just going through the whatever, which would mean the audio isn't very good. I've got to check that. But yeah, the camera is really good, but it's good for outside. I mean, the fact that it shoots 4K and I got it for like $70 in the US, what's that, 50 quid, 55, 60 euro, really good value. I got that about 3-4 months ago. Online school or physical one, I'd be potentially happy with anything, Alex. I've not thought potentially a physical school, like even if it was a school which had one teacher, me, and 60 students, like 5 classes a week, that would be loads. It's just My 3 years in Latvia, in Satvia, you've spoken about, I got on. I got on really well, enjoyed it, and obviously you've got your own thing from a financial point of view. That makes sense, but it means you're having your influence. You can run things the way you want to. Use the books you want. If you have other teachers, you can have the other teachers you want. Have the philosophy, the mindset you want, the cost you want. So you want to be very reasonable for the students. So that would be maybe a physical one. I mean, I've got online students at the minute. I'm looking for more, of course, but maybe a physical one. Good question. What's everybody's hobbies? YouTube, does that count as a hobby? I guess kind of where I am right now. Tennis. So 4 sports I follow most. If you know me, you know this. Tennis, rugby, cricket, and football. Really, tennis, rugby, and cricket are my big 3 sports. I don't play them so much, but I enjoy following them. Super pumped about Wimbledon. I hope Roger wins next week, but we shall see. Does anybody else have hobbies? What's Khan Academy, Alex? Online school. To look into it. Studying physics as a hobby. Wow. Racing, karting, mountain biking. Yeah. What about you, Emily? What are your hobbies? Wow Cruiser, what are your hobbies? Don't know who else is there. What are your hobbies? Sarah, Jack, are you still there? It's an awful lot of comments. I have 5 people. How many people do you have apparently here? 5 people, but 12 likes. How does that work? I like eating biscuits, reading, painting sunflowers, and cuddling my cat. Football and gaming. Jamelia, you're still here. Fantastic. Wholesome. I don't know if eating biscuits counts as a hobby. Maybe it depends on the biscuits. Are they whole grain, or are they how much sugar, fat they have? I don't know. Do you just wondering? Do you guys take vitamin D tablets? Give me a yes or no. Do you take vitamin D tablets? Well-rounded with my hobbies. Digestives. Like Biddy's digestives. If you haven't had them, they're incredible. Like if you wanted to buy them in Latvia, where I lived for the last 3 years, it would cost like a fortune. Like 4 or 5 quid for a packet, Emily, because they'd be imported. But in the UK, much cheaper. Khan Academy. I'll look into that, Alex. I think I might have heard it, but I've not explored it. Nice. I die. What? I'm lost, Emily. Why would you die? Vitamin D, no. Yeah, I don't know. Just wondering, because last week I went and got some vitamin D tablets for the first time. I was recommended to do it. Often, mostly because I've been living in Latvia, where it's quite far north, and the amount of UV is very low, and obviously that's the most natural source of vitamin D. So I came back here, got some tablets, and there we go. In theory, I feel better. Maybe it's just a, I don't know, placebo effect. I'm not sure. Binge watching, yeah, that's a common one. It's not something I've ever done, like the whole sort of Netflix or any of these ways in which you can watch series. I've never got into it. Like I'd watch movies, occasionally go to the cinema, and watch sport and the news, as I would say. But I never got into watching TV shows. I don't know why. I think if I started watching something, I would just be obsessed and couldn't get out of it. And that's maybe not something I want. And then once you watch one, you watch another, and you just keep binge. And I've tried to avoid it. I don't know. 45 quid. Yes, Emily, that's bad. And I think I understand why you'd die. Crazy. Yeah, Jamelia, also having lived in a northern country, coming from not a northern country, yeah, vitamin D is a good thing. Absolutely. For happiness and well-being, I was just advised to take it, Emily, just because I wasn't getting a lot of vitamin D in Latvia, because like between November and February, there is no sun, like literally no sun. And then even in October, and March and a bit of April, because it's quite far north, the amount of UV coming through and the amount of vitamin D is still quite low. And then Northern Ireland, sometimes I come back in the summer and there's no sun either, so it makes no difference. So I just try to do it. Worst thing to binge on a bit of orange is the new black. Fair enough. The weather in Ireland's really good. Like today was 21, 22. Yesterday was 21. Tuesday I was at the beach, actually. I didn't say that earlier on. I went to the beach up in the north coast. Fantastic. In East Strand in Portrush, if anybody knows or cares. And then had a chippy afterwards, fish and chips or burger and chips for me. Sat by the harbour in Port Ballantrae. Incredible place, incredible views. North coast. If you haven't been, the north coast of Northern Ireland is amazing. I would love to live there. Went in the water. Now some of you might get a shock here. The temperature of the water was 8 degrees. 8 degrees. Can you get a load of that? And I just went in my swimming shorts. I was with my sister and a couple of friends. They, of course, had wetsuits. I lasted like 5, 6, 7 minutes, but you have no idea. 8-degree water in the North Atlantic Ocean, absolutely Baltic, as we say. It was crazy. Yeah, depression during winter could be a problem. It's what's it called? SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Is that what it's called? SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Am I right? You're back, Jack. We're still here. How's she cutting now? Just explain, Jack. What does that mean? How is she cutting? What does that mean? Tell everybody what you mean. That's a lovely little phrase. Thanks, Emily. I know how you feel. Alex, what's with the puns, please? I don't know if the person who coined the phrase SAD, seasonal affective disorder, like made it intentional that it would spell the word sad. I don't know. Maybe they were just having banter and they thought it'd be great fun so that on live streams like this on the 28th of June, 2019, people could make puns. How's she keep it? Just means how's it going, I think. Jack, how's she cutting? It's okay. We've been going for an hour 37. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know why. Why am I still live? But apparently I am. Yeah, how are you, Sarah? That's pretty much what it is. Also, if people are interested, if you look at how Jack is spelling in the comments, you'll see some Northern Irish variations of how we spell words like slang or just things like this. It's fantastic. Not necessarily Northern Irish, just over the whole of the UK. Yeah, it means how are you, Sarah? You got it. Nice. Why am I still here? What else is on my list? Good question. I have a list to keep me right. What are people's weekends plans? So you're starting off the weekend, crazy, watching my live stream. What's everybody doing this weekend? Let me know. Hi, Omar. How are you? I'm Alistair, if you've not met me before. And I'm having a completely random live stream, like talk away to people. Emily has already said hello. Nice. I think there's a recurring theme there, Alex, that we're saying. Physics, F1, MotoGP, maths, and physics. That's what you're doing this weekend. Like, I don't know, I've got a couple of lessons tomorrow morning, maybe get out back into the sun. I got church on Sunday. And then Wimbledon starts on Monday, so it's just about being calm before Wimbledon starts. I'm pretty excited about that. You live on the edge, clearly. You'll be doing all your hobbies as listed above, eating those biscuits, those McVitie's biscuits. Nice. You have a good teacher. I'm pleased to hear that. Edge of the biscuit tin. Oh, the banter. Fantastic. Anybody else? Anybody going to Glastonbury? I believe that's happening. And yeah, if you're from the UK, Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt? What do you think and why? Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt and why? Who should I bet on Wimbledon? Not that I'm encouraging betting, Alex. I am confident it will be either Novak Djokovic or Roger Federer. So if you take a two-way or an each-way or whatever it's called, I would highly recommend it's going to be one of those two. In terms of the women, I mean, it could be one of 15 people. Though the youngest, I've forgotten her name, someone can Google it, the youngest ever woman has qualified. So 3 matches down in Roehampton in the south coast of Northern Ireland. I forgot her name. She's a black American girl. I can't remember her name. I can't remember, but she qualified as a 15-year-old. So that's the world record. I don't think she'll win Wimbledon, but apparently she's a real talent. I watched one of her matches. Pretty special for 15 years old playing in Wimbledon. It's crazy, like, to think that. Yes, and she's playing Venus Williams. Is that right? She's playing Venus Williams, who's the oldest competitor. She's like 38, 39 in the first match. Like, I mean, generational. It's crazy. Great chat. Yeah, thanks for showing up, Jamilian. Take it easy. Boris is a melter. Again, good language here. Jack, what does that mean? A melter. Some people may not know. What is a melter? You've no right to vote for anyone other than Ostapenko. Naomi Osaka could be worth it. She won the US Open and the Australian Open. So the US Open last year, Australian Open first Grand Slam this year, 2 in a row. I think she got the world number 1 when she beat Williams in the final. That was a crazy final. Don't ask my opinion about what the umpire did there. Wow. And then Ash Barty, was it? No, Ash Barty won the French Open. She's now world number 1. I think Osaka, back on a faster surface, a bit more relaxed. The pressure of world number 1 didn't suit her. I think Naomi Osaka would be my favorite. Quite possibly Serena, you can never rule her out. I'm not a particular fan, but she breaks every record going. And Venus is always relevant at Wimbledon. But Osaka, I think, could be a good shot. When I was 15, I was sat in school, probably pinging my ruler, of course. Yeah, Osaka is a good shot. Good shot. Right, folks. It's been 1 hour 42. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all these comments. I'm going to try and do this on Thursday next week. I have no idea what we'll talk about. Like, send me something you want to talk about, please. Because I don't have anything interesting to say. Like, we had a cool chat about memory, but if people don't give me things to talk about, then we just talk nonsense, which is okay. But give me some content, like stuff to debate. Then I can say some stuff, you can say some stuff, have some questions, like some stuff to do. I mean, the memory stuff was kind of fun about pi and remembering 20 things. It was good banter. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope the memory thing actually worked. So give me some ideas. You can put them here, send me a message or whatever. Give me some ideas for next one. I'm going to try and do it on Thursday. I'm going to try and do it every Thursday. And like maybe for live streams, I should get an encoder and like be a bit more organized. Like, what's the point in having a 1 hour 43 live stream? Maybe I should do something for like 20 minutes and should be a bit more focused with like a presentation. I don't know, but I quite enjoy this. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks, Alex. Corey Golf. A melter is just someone who fries your head like annoying. A melter is an idiot, an idiot who fries your head and annoys you so much. Absolutely. Okay, so thanks everybody for showing up. It's been great. I have a video on Monday, as always, and I hope to see you on Thursday, but we will be in touch. Okay.